Welcome to episode of Sittin Courtside. Today is Friday, January 24th. We in the hood. And by hood, I mean the hood on my sweatshirt. And Kyle is just living the dream over there. We suck. We're losers. Don't follow our picks, but
Yeah.
please follow our picks because that's why the show exists. And with that, take it away, Kyle.
I was about to say, I was absolutely rolling the last time we recorded this podcast, and now we record this on Thursday night, and I went 1-6, or no, 1-5 on
Yes.
Wednesday night. So,
Yep.
yeah, in a bit of a hole right now. So we're trying to get out of our rut. So you know what we do for this podcast? We're going to go back to our golden days. What got us
Well,
people,
days.
got the viewers to come and watch. We're going to
Gets
give
the
out a
people
top
going.
10, and then we're going to preview the big games for the weekend. So just
Gets the
like if you
people going.
if you've been watching or listening for the last couple of years, this is what we used to always do on our Thursday podcast. So without further ado, let's just get right into it because I think we will need all of our time on here because the previews do usually take a bit of time. Let's give our top tens. And I say you give like 10 through 7. I'll do 10 through
Okay.
7. We go back and forth. So,
Okay. Fair enough. All right. I love to shock the world.
okay.
I'm gonna go number 10, Mississippi State.
Okay. Okay.
I actually love Mississippi State, to be quite frank. They should probably be higher on my list, but I'll be respectful. 10, Mississippi State. 9, I'm going Illinois.
Okay.
I love Illinois.
You certainly do.
8, team I don't believe in, but they've done enough to be there. Marquette.
Okay.
And number 7, maybe the hottest team in the country, shocking the world, going with the Louisville Cardinals.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna have a much different top tens. This is for
Telling you.
sure. Not a single team that you put there is in my top ten. So
Well,
this will be
you got the
interesting.
wrong top 10, I guess.
At number 10, I'm gonna go with UC Irvine, 17-2, only one bad loss all season, top 50 in the net, and they've played a top 78 strength of schedule and they're number 8 defense in the nation. So I think they deserve to be where they're at because everybody else is losing right now and they're
hmm
not.
hmm
So
Fair.
number 9, I got Kentucky. They're 14-4, 6 quad 1 wins already. All their losses are quad 1. A team that I was kind of off the bandwagon because they really screwed me last year. Number 8, Texas A&M. They're 6-3 against quad 1 teams. They just have really gotten it done this year, unlike last year. And their defense is legit, and I'll talk more about them later. And then number 7, a team I absolutely have no faith in, but they haven't lost since Thanksgiving,
Yep.
and that is Michigan State, 16-2.
Okay, it's fair.
All right, who do you got here? 6 through 4.
6 through 4. Okay. Number 6, I'm going Kentucky.
Uh-huh.
I still think that they're a well-coached team. They had the tough loss against Alabama, but they played really well. They showed a lot of heart in that game, I think, because there was periods of time where I thought that they could have easily let it get away from them. So I like them at 6. Number 5, I'm gonna go with Florida.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then number 4, I'm gonna go Alabama.
Alabama, number 4. Okay. Okay. At number 6, I have Alabama, 15-3. I put them at number 6. Tennessee, I have at number 5. And the reason I don't have them at number 4 is because I have Florida at number 4. And they blew out Tennessee by 30. So that is the only reason I break
It's
that tie
fair.
right there. So
It's
I'll
fair.
take Florida at number 4. All right, let's hear it. Top 3.
All right, this is gonna be the easiest you're ever gonna hear. Number 3, Duke, maybe the
Oh,
most talented team in the country. Number 2, Auburn.
okay.
I'm still interested to see what happens this weekend with them. Johnny Broom, the injury.
Yeah.
I think they're maybe the best team in the country if everyone's healthy. But my number one team in the country, shocking the world. You've already said it, Kyle. They don't lose. Going with the Anteaters.
Oh
UC
my
Irvine,
God.
best team in the country. What are you going to do about it? Take it or leave it.
So Iowa State did they not even make your
No,
top 10?
we will get to that at a later date.
Okay, okay. Well, that is a shocking top 10 with UC Irvine at number 1, but I'll go with Iowa State number 3, Duke number 2, and Auburn number 1, which I think is absolutely crazy what they've done this year. They're 10-1 in quad 1 games. That's 61% of their games they played in
Yeah.
quad 1, and their only loss is at Duke. It's absolutely insane what they're
Yeah.
doing so
Early in the
far.
year too. Early in the
Yeah.
year, I got to get my hands on my face with the camera. I actually think they're going to just murder Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean, they're at home. Well, not to get ahead of ourselves, I guess. But
Yeah,
anyway, I'll
yeah,
stop.
no. And as we mentioned, we'll go old school. And what we used to do before it was so easy to get lines, it was just pick these straight up games because you couldn't get the lines days ahead. And we have such a good slate of just sports in general. If you don't know or haven't listened religiously through this podcast, I am a huge tennis fan. We have the Aussie Open finals are both Saturday and Sunday early in the
Yep.
morning. Obviously have the conference championship games at NFL on Sunday, and just an amazing slate of college basketball Friday and Saturday. So I thought, why not, instead of trying to go through the past of what happened last week, let's just go through the big games this weekend.
Let's do it.
All right, and this is up to Jordan to make sure this podcast is out before this first game on Friday night.
We'll
we
be there.
got
Don't
number
worry.
we got number 21 Michigan at number 11 Purdue, and if you guys did not catch it, Purdue did lose at home in their last game against Ohio State. So who do you
Yeah.
like in Michigan at Purdue?
So I wish I could remember the statistic, but Purdue hadn't lost like a home game. It was some ridiculous statistic. And also Ohio State did what we talked about Ohio State doing early in the year where like they catch fire, they can maybe beat any team in
Yep.
the country. I still don't think they're a quality team, so it was a bit of a fluky win for them. I think Purdue's going to bounce back. But Dusty May's going to have them ready to go. Michigan, that is head coach there. I think this is kind of their season as far as
Okay.
like, are they going to be like a top 5 seed in the tournament? Like they have to get a quality win at some point, and they've had some pretty bad losses here and there that you felt like they should have won. So I think they're going to give a lot of heart in this game. I'm taking Purdue, but I actually think that this spread is going to be a little bit larger than people probably are anticipating, and I would probably take Michigan if it's anything over 4.5.
And the reason I have this one on here, because usually you would think Purdue at home, they're going to be a heavy favorite, but actually, net ranking right now has Michigan above Purdue, 12 to 13, and then in KenPom it's 12 to 10. Purdue's ahead of them in KenPom. So it's a really close game on
Yeah,
these rankings. Obviously, we don't know what the spread is exactly yet. KenPom says it'll be about a 4 or 5 point spread.
I'm the best
Yeah.
handicapper alive. I swear to God.
And both teams are top 26 on both ends of the floor, both offense and defense. These two teams rank really well in KenPom. I don't know about you, but when I watch these two teams, I think they're good. I don't think they're great like their rankings
Yeah,
are, but I'm going to take Purdue bounce back win here. They don't lose 2 in a row, especially not in conference. And I would have kind of thought Michigan had a chance in this one if Purdue would have won against Ohio State because
yeah,
Purdue's looking ahead because next Friday, a week from Friday, they don't have a game between the Fridays, but it's IU next week. But
yeah.
now they already have that. You got to get the win before IU. So I'll take Purdue. Going to be
Yeah,
really skittish if it's like -6 though.
yeah, I actually think that was the worst thing that could have happened to Michigan was
Yeah,
Purdue losing. Like, because I do think this was a prime spot for a loss.
yeah, I completely agree. All right, let's move it to Saturday where we have just a heck of a schedule. Just don't even book anything for Saturday. Just sit back and watch college basketball literally
Yeah,
all day. Starting with
get sheeshed up.
yeah,
Get
there you go.
sheeshed up.
Start early too. Start as early as you possibly can. 2:30 p.m. on Saturday. Number 13 Texas A&M at Texas. Texas, a super young team, but their worst loss all season outside of the opening game. That's a little bit of a fluke. That's way back in the beginning of November. But their worst loss since then is against UConn. Nothing to sneeze at there. It's not a bad loss for Texas there.
Yep.
But if you haven't watched A&M, their offense is ugly, but their defense is insanely legit. I hate to take road teams, especially after a 1-5
Yeah.
night of basically taking all road teams on Wednesday. But I just cannot bet against Texas A&M right now. I think their team is actually the way they're coached with Buzz Williams and the way they're playing right now. They actually could make the Final Four just from what I've seen from them. I think they take down the Longhorns on the road.
Yep. Yep. I'm gonna completely agree with you. I've looked at your slate. It's hard not to take every road game, not to foreshadow too much there. Or road team, sorry. Um, and Texas A&M, we've talked about this. I can't win with them. I can't
Yeah.
win against them. So I'm just gonna go with the old trusty, like if you can't beat them, join them. So just always bet Texas A&M. I don't
Yeah.
care anymore. Just take
I like
A&M. And
it.
I actually, fun fact, I took that methodology on Wednesday night. It was my only win of the night. Was Texas A&M.
There you
So
go.
just keep riding them.
Yeah. And KenPom has this as a 70 to 69 win for A&M. So it's going to be
Oh,
probably close to a toss up on the spreads.
130, 139
Yeah, 139.
seems a little high for them. Texas, because
Yeah.
Texas cannot score.
Yeah, they got one guy, and it's a freshman in a big game against a
Yeah,
really good defense.
that's gonna be an interesting game.
All right, next up, Dickie B's return to college basketball at
Get out of
4:30 on
here.
Saturday. Number two, Duke at Wake Forest. This will probably be one of three games left in the entire season where Duke is not favored by double digits. Wake Forest just got done beating North Carolina. They're sitting alone in second place or they're tied with Louisville for second
Yeah.
place in the ACC. Do you think Wake Forest can pull off the upset here, or does Duke continue to roll in the ACC?
So I think Duke will win this game. However, this is one of those moments where we talk like Duke essentially is going to just kind of roll through their schedule. And I actually think that's bad for them come tournament time. They need a little bit of a challenge. I don't know if it's going to happen on Saturday. That kind of thing usually happens like a Tuesday, but there's a team that can do it. Wake Forest has the shooters to make it competitive and make it feel a little uncomfortable. So I'll take Duke. But to your point, not a double digit spread. It may get up to that though with gambling or the betting lines. But Wake Forest feels like a team that can cover like 8.5 points.
So this is exactly why I put this one on here because I could not believe what Ken Palm has the final result being.
Okay, I
They
can't
have
wait.
it 72 to 60 Duke. And
Big
as a Duke,
12.
yeah, so as a Duke fan, I also know they've lost their last two games in Wake Forest, and this place is going to be insanely loud and like
Oh yeah.
it's going to be crazy there. So I'm obviously taking Duke to win this game, but there is no way I'd be laying 12 points in this game.
No.
Not a chance. I'll be avoiding the spread, and there's no way it'll even be close. It won't get below seven regardless. So
Yeah.
I won't be taking this game spread wise, but I'll take Duke to win it. But I would be frightened to try to lay double digits right
I
now.
I see though, this is where I'm thinking. Because gambling has gotten so popular now, I feel like there are casuals
Mhm.
that think Wake Forest stinks because they've been so bad for so long. Like they haven't been good since like the Chris Paul era. Um, and that's how long that's been. Showing my age too. Um, I just think if this opens up around like 6.5, 7 points, it's going to get bet up to like 9 or 10. Like
Yeah.
everyone's going to hammer that.
And just for people that haven't watched Wake Forest, they've won six in a row, 8 of 9. Their only loss was to Clemson on the road in Clemson. And they were up at halftime in that game. So,
Tisk tisk.
all right, next up we got a game I'm really looking forward to because it's two teams I didn't expect a ton from, but 6 p.m. on Saturday, number 16 Ole Miss at number 22 Missouri. Both teams coming off losses, but again, they've been a bit of a surprise this year. Ken Palm actually has this as a 1 point game again. Yet another toss up here. Um, I really don't like either of them like heavy here, but since the toss up, what I've been doing is I've been trying to lean towards the home team, so I'll take Missouri, but I'm not super convicted by it. How about you?
I hate Missouri.
Okay.
They stink. They're so bad. Um, I kind of hate this entire game. I actually like you put this on the calendar or the schedule, and I was like, do I have to? Because Ole Miss just feels like a game Ole Miss just doesn't win.
Yeah.
Also, so I've been in a real predicament. Um, I'll take
For those that don't know though, Missouri has beat Florida and
yes,
Kansas this
yes.
year. So
I just don't like them. Okay,
yeah, okay, there you go. That's more like it.
you get towards the plains, I'm just like gross. You're not good at
Yeah.
basketball.
There's no way you're good
Um,
at that.
I have to take Missouri, unfortunately. I can't take every road game, every road
Okay.
team. I told you at some point I knew this was going to happen. I was going to have to make a decision. This
Yeah.
just doesn't feel like a game that Chris Beard shows up with like a good Ole Miss team. Like this feels like they roll in there, lackadaisical, get down by like 17 at the half, make a storm back to make it within like 6 or 7, and then just lose the free throws.
Yeah. And you got to wonder about morale right now. They lose in overtime Mississippi State at or 2 games ago last Saturday.
Yeah.
Then the heartbreaker at home against A&M last night. Like, can they get up for yet another game here against a ranked
Yeah.
opponent? So
Well,
it'll
they're
be
gonna have
interesting.
to in the SEC.
Yeah, it's basically every night. Yeah. All right, another absolutely great game at 6:30 on Saturday. Number 7 Houston at number 12 Kansas.
Yep.
We have the top team in the Big 12 with Houston, but they're 0-3 in quad one games so far this season against Kansas, who has had a cake start to the Big 12. No big games yet in the Big 12 for them yet, and yet they have 2 losses in the conference. I have a feeling I know where you're going, but go ahead. Take this one away.
Yeah, I don't even know who their other team is. So I'll take the Cougs, Houston. But back to you, question. The worryometer,
Yeah.
where do you put Houston and your pick for them to win the national title right now?
I'm pretty worried just because of the talent
pretty,
that I've seen. Yeah.
pretty worried.
Yeah. Let me find mine.
Are you worried? A lot of worried or very worried?
I'm very worried, I would
He's a
say.
9.
Yeah.
I'm also a 9. I don't know if they get out of the round of 32 right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to them.
They just don't have like the talent to like last year you could have a few talented guys and you could make it to the final four. This year you need an entire squad that's talented with the level of some of these teams that are playing. And I have not seen it yet from Houston.
I will say this till the end of time. There are certain teams that they have to get the right matchups. Otherwise, they are in trouble very quickly.
Yeah, and I really, and especially in March, don't trust teams like, yes, they're the number one defense in the nation, but they play the second slowest pace of all. So it just
Yeah.
takes one guy getting hot on the other team to
Yeah.
completely ruin them. But I do like them to beat Kansas here.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the tournament. I just don't buy Kansas at all. Just like you don't, I don't either. So
Yeah, I would love for Kansas to do what Kansas did in like the 2010s and like get beat by like a number 14 Bucknell or something in the
yeah,
first
that would be
round. And
nice.
be like, oh darn, I'm so upset.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming or anything. All right, the last game on our slate here before we go into other weekend picks. I think it's the best game of the weekend,
Yep.
hopefully on paper, but I think we're both going the same way here. 8:30 p.m. Saturday night, number 6 Tennessee at number 1 Auburn. We got one of the best defenses, top 3 defense with Tennessee against the best offense in
Yeah.
the nation, but without their best player, Broom. You going with Auburn at home here?
Yeah, I think you have to take the Pearl boat. Absolutely. Tennessee can't score. They're an excellent defensive team, but Pearl has shown that his team will show up in the big moments. They love to run. I just don't think Tennessee can keep up with the pace. They're going to have like a game of their life like type game to make this close, in my opinion. And I'm starting to feel like maybe Tennessee for us is like that pretty girl that's just a total bitch. Like
Okay.
we want to
Okay.
like them so bad, but we just love to hate them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like we
Uh-huh.
always find a flaw, and like that's Tennessee for us.
I like that. I like that analogy. Just to put a little bit more perspective into how Tennessee cannot score let's go back here, since December 31st, they only have over 70 points or over 74 points once. We have Auburn, on the other hand, who has scored over 74 points in all but 3 of their games all season.
Yeah.
So at the home team, it's going to be a large spread, though. I was a little shocked that Ken Palm has it
Yeah.
as a 9-point spread currently. So
Though, that makes me actually love Auburn more because
mhm,
everyone's going to hop on the Tennessee +9.
mhm.
That to me is a rat. Like that's a rat game because everyone's jumping on Tennessee being number 6. Everyone's thinking they had a little bit of a fluky game with Vanderbilt losing last weekend, Nashville battle, Tennessee battle, what do you want to call it?
Mhm.
That feels like you just take Auburn.
And why I was giving out the point totals is because right now Ken Palm has them scoring 76 points. That's what I'll be going with is the Auburn over because I think
Oh
they
yeah.
kind of get this game going and it can track me because they do that in every home game. And I just don't think Tennessee will be able to control the style. You'll obviously know if you're going to win that over very early in the game
Oh yeah.
because if Tennessee gets an early lead, it'll really slow down the whole game. But I think Auburn gets the lead and kind of
So
takes over.
but Ken Palm has, or wait, it's a 9-point spread.
Yeah.
Ken Palm has them at 76 points.
Yep.
Man, I think you go the other way. I think you take Tennessee over. Because
Okay.
if they try to keep up with Auburn's play and you think they're easily going to get 76, their freaking over is going to be like, what, 65?
Yeah,
That feels like pretty
67,
easy.
65, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I guarantee you there's going to be like win bet or something. We'll put it out like 65.5
Yeah.
because they're dumb. And that sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
Can't score 65 points. You shouldn't be
In a game where Auburn's going to shoot the ball before 10 seconds on the shot clock every single
correct.
possession. So,
Exactly.
all right. Was there any other big games, or do you just want to go into other weekend picks or leans that you have?
Yeah, let's go into the lanes. I have 3. How many do you have?
I only have two. I only have
Okay.
two.
Well, I guess in
So
then
go ahead.
sequential order, I should go first because it'd be me,
Yeah.
you, me. Okay,
Right,
cool.
there you go.
I foreshadowed this a little bit already. So Iowa State Saturday, they're going to Arizona State on the road. That's not the game. The real game is on Monday They stay in Arizona over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
Go play Arizona at
Whew,
Arizona.
what a juicy game.
That is a prime Arizona with the upset. Iowa State trying to adjust to the West Coast time. They're all weekend. It's Arizona. You live in shitty Iowa. They're going to be living it up on the weekend, having a free day on Sunday, not ready to play on Monday. Arizona, they need every win they can get. I love Arizona to get the upset win over Iowa State on Monday night.
I didn't even look at Monday night, but I am 1000% behind that. It backfired
Mhm.
on me last Saturday. I took them at Texas Tech. I kind of forgot Texas Tech was just as hot as Arizona was,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now I'm not betting against Arizona against anyone right now. But yes, I love that bet. I did not see it, but I will definitely take that with
Yeah.
you. All right, so my games are in a bit of the weeds here. You're not going to really want to tune these games on because they're a bunch of mediocre teams, but I
Mhm.
like these lines. I'm going to take Iowa over Penn State Friday night at money line. They're right now only supposed to win by one. Both of these teams right now are spiraling. They are absolutely terrible right now. Iowa's lost three in a row, but their losses make more sense to me. They went out west, which is just ridiculous that so many teams had to go out west for the Big Ten. They lost those two, and they had a clunker at home against Minnesota on their return. But I think they get back at it and beat Penn State, who hasn't had a road win all season. And Ken Palm has Penn State winning by one in this game, so I'll take Iowa at home.
Perfect. You're leading right into my hand here.
Okay.
Staying Monday night. I know you guys say it's not the weekend. Well, guess what? Might as well be because we don't tell you anything on Mondays usually.
Yeah.
Staying Monday night. Michigan coming off the
Okay.
big game Friday against Purdue. Come back home. They get Penn State on Monday. Penn State, that just feels like a prime spot for them to put Michigan to the test. You also have the swirling rumors that Dusty May might be taking the Indiana job. He's an Indiana guy. Went to Greencastle, also did, I think, his grad years in Indiana. Like that starts swirling around the program. Is he leaving maybe as the hot seat gets hotter for Indiana following your lead there? That feels like a prime spot for Penn State to maybe not win, but to definitely cover. So I'm going to lean with a cover with Penn State on the road against Michigan.
And you're good at this. What do you think Ken Palm has that spread currently being for that game?
6.5.
10. They have
Jeez
10.
Louise. I did
Yeah.
6.7. I was like, I don't think it'll be
Yeah.
that high. Will it? That's crazy. That's
I
crazy.
think a
I
lot
love
of
it
it
more.
depends. I think a lot of it depends on how Michigan does against Purdue. I think that'll change that. Like it'll drop
Oh,
it if they get
100%.
looked by Purdue.
I
But
would have never get 10. Like I know I usually avoid the double digit games. That 10 points is a lot.
86-76. They
Oh
have a
my
pretty high
gosh.
scoring too.
That's even,
So
yeah, that's super high scoring for
yeah.
those two teams. Okay.
All right, my last one here. Again, guys, Saturday's loaded. Like just bet this and then look at your phone, everyone. Set up the alerts. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go with SMU to grab the road win over North Carolina State. Yes, North Carolina State, they made the Final Four last year, but this team is nothing like that team. They've lost five out of their last six games. Their best win all season is against Notre Dame at home against Notre Dame by one. And SMU, their worst loss out. They have one loss outside of the top 33. So SMU, not a great team. NC State is a bad team. I'm going to take SMU. They're actually 1 point dogs on Ken Palm. I'll take a money line. I think SMU grabs the road win. These mediocre ACC teams playing against the bottom tier of the ACC has really been profitable for me because
Mhm.
everyone just sees the names and I think it's even. There's really bad teams in the ACC. SMU is like fifth or sixth best, so I'll take them.
Yep. Okay. Well, we're gonna stay in the ACC, and we're not going to the Saturday Sunday slate. I actually think the Saturday Sunday slate's a little bit difficult.
I do too.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be an honest guy. It's loaded. It's great to watch. I don't think it's great to bet. I think all the value is gonna come Monday, Tuesday. Again, if you listened to the beginning of the show, which I hope you did, I awkwardly had Louisville at number 7 and said they were the hottest team in the country. They've won 7 games this month. Tuesday night, they're going to be at home against Wake Forest, coming off that emotional game on Saturday versus Duke. They have to travel to Louisville in just the crappiest of weather. No one wants to be out in it. Louisville's hot. It's for a bold hold on the second place spot in the ACC. I think Louisville gets it done at home in the Yum Center against an exhausted Wake Forest team. Taking the Cards on Tuesday.
I absolutely love that pick. And if they get that win, that'll be their 10th in a row. And then their next three games are Georgia Tech, Boston College, Miami.
Yeah.
So
And if
then
you
they're on a third.
recall, Was it 2 weeks ago? We said the next like 4 games would define
Hmm.
what Louisville was, and they
Yep.
won
Hmm.
every single one of those games pretty handily.
Yep. All of them by double digits. All of them by double digits. So
They're
it's
just they have shown up. I love what that team has done defensively. They're a little bit rough on the offensive end, but they play tough. Chucky Hepburn has really stepped into the leadership role for them, and they have a ton of transfers. Just a really good team and like a fun team to watch. Honestly, it's like it's fun to like get to root for Louisville again.
holy cow. I just now saw this. Ken Palm has them favored to win every single one of the rest of their games.
Yeah, they don't play any. Remember, we told them they don't
Yeah.
play North Carolina or Duke the rest of the year.
Yep.
Like I said, 22 wins was within their grasp.
Yeah,
Like
they have them finishing 24-7, 17-3 in the ACC.
that's crazy.
There.
Um, I don't have a lean on this game, but I just want to call it out. I'm trying to find exactly what time it is. Um,
What are we talking about?
no, I'm gonna tell you what we're talking about. I think it's Saturday. College of Charleston is on the road at Elon. Both are very good teams. That's a game you should watch because one of them are definitely going to be a weird 12 or 13 seed this year and are going to give people fits in the tournament. So definitely check that out. I cannot find what time it's
7
on.
p.m. 7
7
p.m.
p.m. There you go. I thought for some reason it was 4:30. Um,
And if you somehow get Flow Sports, good
yeah,
for you because that's where it's
yeah,
on.
yeah. And for context, Charleston's 15-4, Elon's 13-6. Again, I think one of those teams will definitely be in the tournament, and they're going to give someone fits, and maybe that's a potential team you could highlight as making it to the round of 32 if you're doing a survivor thing.
And as we talk about this, I have a bet currently on Charleston. Not sure how they're doing tonight, but I did like this.
Okay.
All right. Well, I believe we are not going to be recording next week. Is that correct,
That's
Jordan?
correct. I'll be out of
Okay.
town. I'm sorry, guys.
So we will be back in 2 weeks. We will have a completely brand new slate of games, new slate of what we're going to be talking about. I actually have a really good idea for it. Don't want to spoil it here, though. So just know when I get back, it'll be a whole new episode, like something you guys haven't heard before. So it should be pretty good. And go check us out. Even while he's on vacation, I'm sure he'll be putting out picks every
Always.
single night
Always. And by
on
the way, it's not vacation, it's work.
work. My bad.
Basically vacation.
Yeah. At Mingo Made One is Jordan's Twitter. I'm at Kyle Cliffy. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. And again, go check out our Twitters. Good
Love
luck.
you guys.